back. So I'm trying very, very hard right now not to feel conscious of my total look from head to toe, because we've got the international fashion police in the house. He is one of your favorite content creators, Kenzie Udosen. Kenzie, good morning. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Idigo Noke, how do you go?
What is that, my
Thank you for having me. Idigo Noke, translates is even for, you look, it's giving what it should give, know, what it can give.
So there are no question marks anywhere? Nothing on Kayode.
You had better not give us question marks, so we're going to detain you.
Where's the tie and everything? I guess it's a uniform thing for today.
We're going to detain you.
Detain me where?
Be careful what you say. Police have get police. It's good to have you. Right?
Thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you.
Welcome. It's good to have you. So, this is Kenzie Udosen.
Right.
We see a different character entirely in your content. Witty Igbo woman who is criticizing what celebrities are wearing to the events, and it's so, hilarious and compelling to watch all at once. How did you carve that niche, or how did you create that character? What did you see in your growing up?
Oh, my world. Well, growing up, it's the first time I'm telling the story. Growing up, I lost my father early, and so I was surrounded by a lot of women. I'm just the only guy amongst my 4 sisters. And so there was my mom, there was my auntie, there was just a lot of women growing up. And so influences like that, you pick up a thing or 2 or more, a lot, And so when it came down to creating like a career path, it was presenting at the time when I was in school, but that wasn't very yielding at the time. And so there was this
like
big
lucrative?
No, like I couldn't see the path.
Oh, I see.
At the time. And so there was this big boom on social media. I think it was Chris Clown, Maraji, they were doing stuff on social media, Josh Too Funny, with his singing at the time. And I thought, okay, why not, get into this? And the character, Madame Theresa, came to be. I started as an opera singer. I was trying to mimic what Josh Too Funny was doing. I was hugely inspired by Josh Too Funny. But that didn't quite, fly. So I started doing some sort of what I called Ndomodo series, where I sit down and talk to people about, day-to-day activities, do what you have to do this, do that, don't do that. And so that's how the character came to be. As for the fashion reviews I just started this year, there was some sort of like introspection where I felt like, oh, I wasn't doing as much as I should have been doing. And so I left Lagos, I went to Owerri, because I feel sometimes Lagos can be very chaotic. And so I went to Owerri just to spend some time, reconnect with the Igbo, roots that I had that pretty much inspired my entire content. And Priscilla Ojo's wedding came. I wasn't creating any content at the time. I wasn't inspired by anything. I was like, why not just read people's fashion, but what's the angle? You're not really into fashion, what do you know? Okay, so come from this angle where you're an Igbo mother who's criticizing what people are wearing, so just make it fun, make it snappy, that's what birthed the whole review thing that's trending now, yeah, so.
And so, before we begin to talk about the language medium, I don't understand Igbo, from A to Z, but I can just sit down and binge on it because it's so interesting to watch. But do you get any backlash or responses from feedback sort of from celebrities that you criticize?
Well, that's the thing. It's dicey waters, right? And I thought of it before I started. It was a very big deal because you meet these people every day. You go for events, you see them, and so if you criticize their looks and they see you, it's going to be like, okay, you would have said, that thing about my look, so you go. But it's been received very, with open arms and quite beautifully, in the sense that they understand the angle. I hope, and I've seen with some of the people I've met physically after the videos I've made of them. So yes, they understand the angle that it's not from a place of, oh, I know fashion and what you're wearing is tacky. It's from a place of, oh, okay, that mother is not pleased, so yeah.
Is it helping them to change or adjust or terrified? What are you doing to them?
Well, I think when it started, it was frivolous. It was, but now I think there's a bit of awareness, so to speak, about decency when it comes to the way people dress. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. I wish you all the best.
Really, your crisis mode. I know.
Because you see the trend these days, and it looks like things have been turned on their heads, sort of, and it's almost like normal. And it reminds you of the normal construct. And normal is not really
a function of what makes sense. It's a function of what most people do.
Right.
And that's why there's a normal curve. So if a lot of people are doing a certain thing, it becomes normal.
Exactly.
Not that it makes sense. But a lot of people have watched you, and that's how, in fact, you talk about Josh Too Funny. You try to mimic what he was doing, that you found your own niche. But for a lot of younger content creators, they're watching you, they're watching others, and they seem to be putting up this formula that if you want to blow quick, you have to have a feminine character in that sense. And we can give a lot of examples from time immemorial, or how do they say that thing?
Yeah.
Immemorial, that's the right word. But the point is, why did you choose a feminine character? I imagine you get a lot of backlash from time to time. How do you handle that? And how do you try to separate the character from the person so that, again, it doesn't sort of instill that mindset that, oh, I have to be out of touch with my own masculinity as a boy or as a man to create content and get views, if you get what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, growing up, there was a lot of influences, of women in my life, and it's hard not to pick up a thing or two. And when I started, it was a thing of make it specific that there is Kenzie and there's Madam Theresa. But along the line, you begin to realize that, oh, okay, it's who you are, right? As much as it's a character on social media, it's a projection of something that's in you. And so I try not to define that, answering the last question. I try not to define that, especially these days, because the more I try, the harder it is. So there's just me, there's that talent, and I can do all these things, right? For content creators who are just starting, and sorry, I lost the first question.
People who are watching, and I think the routes to fame,
right,
is to have be a female character.
Well, I don't know about them, but as for me, like I said, it's just always been there. And while I don't judge anyone or say, oh, don't do this or don't do that, there's a certain, like you said, trend where people feel like you must do it. And then they do it in a way that it's just very caricature. And so I try to respect the gender that I'm trying to mimic while doing my work, which I find is very, very necessary because I have a lot of women as my fans, and they will not be there if I disrespect the very thing that they are, the very person or people that they are. And so it's very important to respect that gender and to treat the mimicry in such a way that they watch it and they see themselves without feeling what is going on, So that's what I try to do. The second question, yes, backlash. How do I handle that? What kind of person do them block? Just block. It is what it is.
Give them a block. Everybody hand over.
We live in a country where it is what it is, and people don't understand entertainment, and you can't educate.
So as we're going to wind down, what path has this created for you? Because that's quite critical. Right. Some people are all over the place, but not visible enough to build a specific brand that gives them an equity in the room, which is always a missing part. So we have a lot of noise, and yet substance is missing. But I like the way you articulate who you are, and I think it's relatable. So how do you do it such that, when you do your thing, you get the kind of visibility that wants to take you to the path you wanted to go? Are you on the path? I think that's a question I want to get.
Right. I like that question because I referred to, not seeing a path. Yes, I am on the path. I'm on Channels TV. I'm on Channels TV. Super excited about that, by the way. But yeah, so how do I do that? Is there an intentional way? Of course there is an intentional way. Like I said, it's about understanding the very content I'm creating and making sure that it's not disrespectful, especially in modern times where there's a lot of lines not to be crossed, So it's understanding that and making sure that I'm creating relatable content while still being respectful. Now, being all over the place, I see a lot of people create content, wear women's clothes, and it's for lack of a better word, tacky. But it is what it is in the sense that when creating my content, I make sure that I'm very, very, like you said, the word, articulate. And so before the fashion reviews, there was the teaching people how to pronounce certain words. And so I find that brands, as well as the general public, like that kind of stuff. And it's very important to know exactly what you want to be for people, and it's always been a certain level of education for me. Madam Theresa has always been that woman that educates.
So
She's always
your bank
saying
account
something,
is smiling.
correcting something. Say that again.
So your bank account is smiling.
Of course it is, honey.
He has to, by the way, do the fashion police for us.
I mean, of course I will. Yeah, you know, we'll get to that because I see a lot of.
Let's do that right away.
Let's do that,
But just know that freedom before speech is guaranteed, but freedom after speech.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Okay.
I wish.
That's it, kind of.
First of all, three of you who can speak Igbo understand?
None.
Igbo, no?
None.
How do I do this?
No, do it for the audience. It's for the audience.
Okay, let's go.
We'll determine.
Tie, okay, need to go knock here. Where's the tie and all? You know, the pocket thing is doing what it should do, I suppose. The jacket, the long jacket, you know, fancy. You know, the brogues and all the good knock here. I'll give you
Freedom after speech.
I'll give you a 7 because, you know, it's typical.
I'll take it.
Oh, Bukola, okay. Oh, stunning, absolutely divine. You know, I like what the jacket is doing. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, very, look like a blended with the background, but you know. Looks chic, you know, why you gold? Where did you buy the gold? Ikorodu?
Well, you're right.
Oh, you go!
I like that. Wait to
Well,
go.
stunning. The hair very well put together. Love the pants, love the shoes, why your heels. You go. Stunning. I'll give you a 9.
Oh,
Stunning.
You gave her a 9. You see, look,
I mean, because you're wearing navy.
Ikorodu got to the 9. Big up,
Okay, well, Mr. Jeffrey, is that correct? Absolutely. Okay.
This look like a 3.
Well, I like what he's doing. It's navy as well. You know, is that navy? Yeah, that's navy. You know, what is the point? Uniform?
No, not
Secondary school?
exactly. It's considered.
Okay, you go. Love what the pocket filler's doing. You know, the red to break up the whole thing going on. Need to go knock here. Okay, the color of the socks. I'll knock here. I'll give you a 7 as well.
Man is biased. Sharp guy, politician.
Yeah, politician. He's a smart guy. Thank you so much. We could just go on and enjoy. You know, I think just doing it right here just says you're natural.
yeah.
He's our tech bro, by the way. He does a lot of content, and I realize that relatability is key. I think we can relate to what you're doing, and we wish you the very best. Thank you so much, Bukola.
We should rate him, though.
Please. Please.
I think I've learned one Igbo phrase from you. I think your shoes are doing it for me.
Oh, thank you very much.
I wouldn't really like the chain, by the way, but
Where'd you get
the
it from?
jury is getting into character. We'll give you a 9.
Oh, thank you very much.
All right, let's close the show. I'm going to do your paraphrase after the show.
Udosen, content creator, international fashion police, and of course, by the way, you're getting your way into Nollywood with what you're doing.
Yes.
So we can also call you Nollywood Potential. Thank you so much for your time on the program.
Thank you very much.
We
Thank
had
you so
great
much.
Well done, well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's it on the program. Thank you for your time and, of course, your usual company. Sunrise Daily is up next at the top of the hour. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. Bye-bye. I
am Bukola Cook. I will be back again next week.
I think I'll give the Sunrise Daily team a 7.5 over 10. So find out what they're wearing.
No, they have to be 6.
I'm kind of
looking for trouble for the weekend.